I really don't want to record a landscape, but it appears that's what I'm gonna have to do. I apologize for my last two videos looking like shit. I didn't realize it, but recording vertically makes them extremely cropped. Really weird. Doesn't look good for the video. Today's topic is going to be, let's say, gratefulness. The act of being grateful, right? This might be a fucking, I'm gonna have to drag this out on purpose to like 10 minutes, because I don't want my long form videos to be like 5 minutes a piece. I'd like them to be at least 10 minutes, no more than 30, I'd say. The art of gratefulness, right? So, I'm going to assume you're in a bad situation. You know, maybe you're not. This video still holds value to you. But maybe you are, right? And I'm going to take another pretty generalized assumption here and assume you don't practice gratitude. Well, my friend, I could tell you off the bat, quite confidently, practicing gratitude will make you feel 1000% better than you do now. And I say that so confidently because I've done it myself, right? Gratitude in of itself has fully pulled me out of like ruts, for example. You know what a rut is, but has pulled me out of ruts before. It's just, it could really open your eyes. Like, you might sit there and think, it feels so hard to be grateful for something right now. Like, there's nothing I could be grateful for. Life sucks. I hate my life. You know, life's not fair. This and that and this and that. But at the end of the day, you have something to be grateful for. If you have something to be grateful for, like if you're comprehending what I'm saying right now, that means you're alive. There you go. You have something to be grateful for. Boom. It's just, a lot of people don't realize the position where they are, someone else would kill to be in your position. And I know you've probably heard that a billion times, but I try to think of that every time I find myself complaining or anything like that. I don't tend to complain really anymore because of that, but I'm also a human being at the end of the day. I'm not some machine, right? But now, if there ever is an instance where, you know, I'm already not feeling great that day, and then I slip up, I kind of like start complaining about something that's dumb or small, I will immediately try to kind of realize, like, you've heard this example a million times probably. There's someone starving in like Africa right now. There's some kid in like Bangladesh who doesn't even know like what a phone looks like. Maybe I sounded a touch saying that. I don't know how underdeveloped Bangladesh is. That was just kind of a random example I threw off the top of my head. So please don't roast me in the comments, but excuse me. But yeah, it's just, you always have something to be grateful for. And it might feel so much easier to complain and be ungrateful, take things for granted. And like I said, I'll catch myself taking things for granted sometimes. A big thing because I tend to argue with myself quite a bit. I know that sounds stupid. I don't sit there in a mirror and be like, Gage, you're dumb. No, Gage, you're dumb. That would make me insane. But in my own head, okay, that still sounds insane. Just hear me out. I'll be on both sides of the fence a lot of the time about certain things, and I'll kind of debate it with myself in my own head. I feel like that's not that crazy. That's just kind of reasoning, like my self-finding reasoning and things. And a lot of times, when it comes to taking things for granted, I like to argue, to the point I'm making right now with, yeah, you know, of course I should be grateful for where I'm at. But this is my situation, you know? I'm not someone in India. I'm me. So I have the right to complain and feel how I feel about certain things. And what I would say to that is that's fair, right? That's a fair argument. But you have to realize this is more towards someone in a developed country. We'll obviously just say the United States because that's where I'm from, so easiest example. You have so many resources. Let's say your life sucks. You have so many resources to fix your life. I'm not interested in hearing the, oh, no, I don't because of this. Oh, no, I don't because of that. Oh, no, 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 no. That mindset is why you're never going to change your life. If you relentlessly believe that you will, hear me out, you will. But this video is not about manifestation, so I'm not going to get deep into that. This video is about gratefulness. So, I still got to drag this out for about another 4 minutes, so I'm not going to end it here yet. But have you ever find yourself and you truly feel like life just fucking sucks? Life is shit. Please just take a second, take a step back from the situation, and realize where you are is a gift. Don't take anything for granted and appreciate every little moment. And I promise you, if you feel fucking horrible, doing just that alone, appreciating let's say, the beauty of nature, you go on a walk, you appreciate how beautiful the trees look, the sky looks, the birds look, the grass looks, everything. You will genuinely feel so much better and you'll see so much more color in life than if you wouldn't do that. And I watch my own videos, right? And a lot of the things I feel, like I'll watch it and sometimes I'll like, I just did this last night. I was watching it and I kind of thought to myself, man, that feels kind of dumb to say. Like, that's a really grass is green statement. I noticed I've made quite a few of those on my channel already. Very, sky is blue, grass is green kind of statement, like painfully obvious statements. But once again, how I've kind of been speaking about, I need to take myself out of my shoes and realize there's people who don't think like me, right? And that ties in perfectly. Because even if you are in your own situation, still, there are so many people who would kill to be in your situation. They could know every little detail about what is wrong with your life or whatever, and they would trade with you in an instant. Just because of, let's say, where you're located. Some kid in India would trade with you in an instant just because you're in the US. And they probably realize that they have opportunities to change your life in the US. So, you really need to start practicing gratitude. Someone who I am personally subscribed to, named Hamza. Yeah, I didn't say that wrong. Named Hamza. He is a big believer in gratitude journaling. And I actually don't gratitude journal. I've talked about this in a previous video. It's something in my habit tracker, right, that I haven't really been checking off. Haven't been doing great on that, at least, specifically. But I'm sure, you know what, someone in the comments could try it out for like a week. Let me know how it is. I'm sure it would make you so much more grateful and just a happier person in general. Because, yeah, our brains are, really impressive and complicated or whatever, but there's another side to that. And honestly, we're quite simple in the way we work. If you actually go out and try to see the good in things, you're not going to believe this. You'll start to see the good in things. I know, crazy, right? But it's true. And it's something that so many people don't do. Said that before, but I'll say it again because it's true. I'm dropping bars, saw that rhymed. But I don't know, I just never see enough people being grateful. I always see everyone complain and whine. I never see anyone say, I'm really grateful for today. I'm really thankful I got to wake up in a bed today. I'm really grateful I got to wake up with a roof over my house. I'm really grateful that I don't have to worry about getting hit by a missile and dying. Never. Never. Never hear that. And, I mean, I don't know. It's just... it's just not enough people are grateful. So, truly, even if you're in a perfect mental place, if you don't do it already, try to take a moment every day and appreciate life. I think that's about all I've got to say. I'm at about 11 minutes here, so that should be good. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you found any value, please consider subscribing, liking. I hate to beg for that, but that's the only way I'll reach more people, get a bigger influence, and change lives. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.